Hello, 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 and welcome back, friends. Yeah, it is time. It is the end of the month. That means we gotta get next month's TBR rockin', rollin', ready to go. My little friend is back, the little mug. He's got the prompts. We are going to do some deciding today on what we're gonna be reading next month. Now, if we're going to do a fall wrap for what I'm reading, so we're not gonna go into the books, but we do need to know, out of these 6 books that I picked last month, how many did we get to? I'm gonna be honest, you guys are probably gonna be disappointed in me. Here was last month's stack. We had Caught Up, which I don't think was from a prompt. This is actually my TBR roulette that I do over on the Clock app. I've been going through these and I just really wanted to read the physical one for this. This was a book from there, which actually makes this even worse now that I think about this in real time for even a split second. Great. Shield of Sparrows, did get that one done. This is phenomenal. I'm already dreaming of book 2. Thankfully it's been announced for April, so like I have a date and that's fine. This was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And then it goes downhill from there. Lauren Asher, Love Arranged? Nope. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies? Nope. Tonight the Streets Are Ours, backlog book? Nope. And Daydream. Trying to finish this up? Nope. So that was abysmal. But it's fine, it's a new month, so let's dig in. Let's get to the prompts. Let's get things rolling here. I have a good feeling about this month. It is my birthday month, and that's always a good thing. I have some exciting stuff coming up, so hopefully we'll get some reading done. I'm gonna focus on the physical. I just read a lot of ebooks this last month. I read a lot of ebooks, a lot on my Kindle. So this month we'll focus back up on the physicals. So first prompt, you guys get to see it first. A book with 3 words in the title. Ooh, okay, this is fun. Okay, I picked a whole bunch. We'll go through them, but I think I know where we're gonna land on this. Project Hail Mary. Movie comes out here a couple months, I think, and so I do really want to read this. When I do this, this will be a immersive read because I've heard that the audiobook is fantastic, so we will also be doing the audiobook with that. I can continue the Inheritance games with the Hawthorne Legacy because I know this is book 2. The 1000th Floor, I know nothing about this, but this is a backlog book that I have had for a long time, so probably should get into this. And it just kind of gives some fall vibes. If we want a romance, we have The Good Company. This is one of my, probably might be a little bit spicy editions, so we love that. Love and Focus, Lila Lee. First Time Caller, does this count? First Time Caller? First Time Caller? I don't know, we probably won't get to this one, so it's fine. And then also, I kind of thought, I do want to start the Lightning Thief series, but do I really need to start another series? Probably not. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest, it's probably gonna be one of these 2, the Hawthorne Legacy or Project Hail Mary. I know my husband wants to read this and he's currently reading the Long Walk, the Stephen King, Richard Bachman book, whatever. So I think we're gonna go with Project Hail Mary. That way I can get this done so he's ready. When he's ready, he can have it. That feels like a good one. So a book with 3 words in the title, Project Hail Mary. We're feeling good. That's a good first pick here. Good first pick. Next one. A friend wreck. Okay, I'm going to get my phone. We're going to get a friend to do a wreck. This might take a minute. Sent that to her. We'll be back with what the friend wreck is. So, on to the next one. Choop. Something outside your comfort zone. Ooh, this is a good one. Oh, I should have saved Project Hail Mary for that because that is definitely something that I'm like a little nervy for. I'm gonna take this as more of like one that you're scared or nervous to read because there's been a lot that's kind of like on my list that I'm like, ugh, I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about them. And so I'm kind of like, I don't know. And so like, I just need some motivation. So this feels like good motivation to like read something outside of my comfort zone that like I maybe was going to read, that not necessarily like just something that I've been really nervous to get to. Feels like a good opportunity for that. So not exactly out of my comfort zone, but I'm also like terrified to read it. So I feel like it kind of plays into that. Atmosphere, Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love her books so much that I don't know why I'm like hesitating to get through this. So that feels like something out of my comfort zone. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I've never done a cozy fantasy before, so this feels like a great opportunity to dive into that. And I do know that this has been on my TBR for fall, so like this would be a good opportunity there, and it didn't get read last month. What the River Knows. I know very little about this book. I'm actually borrowing it from my mother-in-law. I've heard it's actually like YA, and it's like historical fantasy, apparently. One of my friends was saying that it is absolutely phenomenal, and I think there's now a second book to it. I don't know what the second book is. There might even be 3 books now. Either way, I am borrowing this one, so really I should read it. She obviously, like, my mother-in-law doesn't really like care when I get these back to her. But regardless, this feels like something really out of my comfort zone because I've heard that it's really good, but I really don't know anything about it. And like a historic fantasy sounds interesting. Also sounds very much not in my wheelhouse. So that's a good one. The Nightingale. Really anything that has like a historical setting is not really anything in my comfort zone that I've ever done before. I don't really do historical, whatever, fiction, fantasy, romance, anything like that. So this would be a great opportunity to dive into this. And I know that, but this terrifies me. This book scares me so much. It is stunning. I got the 10th anniversary edition of this, and it's absolutely stunning, but like, oh my gosh. It is like 440 pages roughly. I just know this is going to emotionally destroy me, and I don't know that I'm ready for that. And then we're gonna go back to this one, actually. I don't know why it's catching my eye more this month than typical. It's a backlog book, which would be great to get off of my list. And considering I don't really know anything about it, it just says the higher you are, the further you fall. So this one's New York in the future. It follows 5 different people. I don't know anything about this book. So, when I'm scared, but if it's out of my comfort zone, then like, I don't know. Cause I don't wanna put something on my TBR list that I just actually know I'm not gonna read, right? I don't wanna put something on there and be like, I know I'm not gonna read this because it's out of my comfort zone and I don't really want to. That defeats the purpose. Now granted, if I did that to begin with, then why did I buy the book, right? That's also a very fair statement, is if I wasn't going to read it, then why did I buy it? You know what, I've been doing a really bad job of getting to my backlist books. So I think we're gonna put this on there. It's been on there for so long that like, I think it's time. I think it's time to put this on there so that we can get something off the backlog. Because obviously if it's like backlog, you know, out of my comfort zone. Fantastic. Okay, so that was our 3rd pick. We're gonna do 2 more, I think. I think we're gonna do 5 because I didn't get to all of them last month and that makes me sad. And so, yeah, I think I'm nervous. I'm nervous about that last book. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's gonna get better, it's gonna be better. A book where a character has a similar job to yours. I work in TV. Well, it's not TV, it's online digital, kind of journalism, kind of TV, kind of news, kind of like cameras, production type work. So let's see what I can find. This feels like a really obvious choice, but I also really want to read this before the next one comes out, obviously. And so yeah, we're just gonna go with First Time Caller. Heidi is in radio, and radio and TV, very similar. I used to do radio, so like, duh. A job where a book where a character has a similar job to yours, similar job, radio, TV, we're doing lights, we're doing cameras, we're doing mics, all that kind of fun stuff. So First Time Caller, absolutely an easy choice. For a change for Lauren. We love that. We love an easy choice. Sometimes you just gotta just go with your gut, right? That's what I'm saying. Okay, so that's 4. 1 more. Maybe we'll do 6. These are too fun. I just can't help it, okay? I like them, they're fun. An auto by author. Okay, this is one we've also had before, so after this month, this one will be going away for a little bit. An auto by author. Ooh, but like, I don't really want like fall vibes. Ooh, okay, freaking phenomenal. Okay. Oh, she's gonna make me do it anyway. We're gonna pivot here for a minute because Julia messaged me back and she said, if I want something lighthearted, The Bodyguard is becoming a movie, so that would be super fun. But then she also said her favorite out of all of them is The Nightingale. I think this is my sign to do The Nightingale. I think it is. I think this is my sign because I should have probably put it for something outside of my comfort zone and I kind of took the cop out there. So a friend rec is gonna be The Nightingale. We're gonna do it. Thank you, Julia. Now, back to an auto by author, which means also I'm like taking it easy on myself because that's gonna be a lot. I just know that's gonna be a lot. Well, I could put The Bodyguard on it because Catherine Center has become an auto by author for me. That works out nicely. For an auto by author, I have a few. Catherine Center, ever since I read The Love Haters and I got it as my first e-arc and arc ever, has become an auto-buy author. Now, admittedly though, I haven't read hardly anything by her, but this is like a short little baby one. So like, it feels like it would be easy to get through. Oh, but it does say it's the perfect summer read. Okay, let me swap this one out. Let's see. I know I'm 90% sure the Rom-Commers is a summer read. Okay, we swapped out that Catherine Center one for Hello Stranger. She has become an auto-buy for me, so I have 3 to choose from. This one doesn't seem quite as like summery. So Hello Stranger, good option there. Elsie Silver obviously is an auto-buy. I have all of them. Now that being said, notice how they are all still on the TBR. Anything back behind me here is on the TBR. Anything above, I have read. So we got a lot to get through here. Heartless is the next one in the Chestnut Springs series. So like I could also continue on a series. That would be great. Love Arranged was supposed to go on the was on the TBR, was supposed to get read last month, and I do really want to get through this. So like always a good option there. I do love me some Lauren Asher. Same with Daydream, was on the TBR for last month, wanted to get through it. This would also like catch me up on Hannah Grace because, well, this would catch me up on the Maple Hills from Hannah Grace because she actually has a holiday book coming out this year that I'm super excited about. I could get caught up before that one. That feels like a good, smart move as well. And then obviously I could continue on with my Windy City series read with Play Along. This is really tempting. I'd have like 2 purple books. That's funny. They're auto-buy authors. Of course I'm gonna wanna read them all. To stick with kind of a little bit more of the fall theme, and I did really want to read this last month, I think we're gonna go with Daydream. Then I'm also wrapped up with that series, and that's gonna feel really good. So yes, Daydream, auto-buy author, final choice. That's 5 books, but I have too much fun doing these, so we're gonna pick one more. Just like as a bonus, and if I don't get to it, we're not gonna feel bad about it. We are, but like that's my own problem. But we're gonna do one more, one last one, because why not, right? A book that's been on your TBR longer than 3 years. Fantastic. You know what? I needed a good opportunity to read another backlog book. So let's see. So the backlog is still a lot bigger than I would like it to be, but we are starting to narrow it down, which is good. First, we have The Girl You Left Behind by Jojo Moyes. This is the author that had Me Before You, bawled, cried, sobbed. So this is like a historical, probably romance, spellbinding dual love. So I wonder if there's like some magical realism in here. Could be fun. Grown. I heard so much about this when it first came out. Bought it because I was like, yep, need to try that. I need to like test my boundaries a little bit. And then didn't. But the back says, when legendary R&B artist Corey Fields spots Enchanted Jones at an audition, her dreams of being famous singer take flight. Until Enchanted wakes up with blood on her hands, with zero memory of the previous night. Who killed Corey Fields? I could go for a mystery, maybe. That sounds kind of great. Nowhere Near You. Again, this is one that I've had for years and years and years and years and years and years. But it's the same author as Because You'll Never Meet Me, and I loved that book. So that sounds like a good time. I could do Lock and Key finally, and this would get me through the Sarah Dessen books, which I think she's actually coming out with a new one, and that sounds fantastic. So that would get me through there. I Believe in a Thing Called Love. We've talked about this one before. Just a good opportunity to get that off the backlog. Because we're into fall and I'm kind of in my fantasy vibes right now, we could do Warstorm. Warstorm's like fantasy, but also kind of dystopian. I never know. To be honest, that genre kind of like gets a little fuzzy to me because if they have powers, doesn't that make it fantasy? But this is set in like the real world with like dystopian time period. So I don't know. Either way, this is the last book. And I could be done with this. I could be done. Well, I do have like the little novella of the couple other scenes and stuff. Like I could basically be done with the series if I did that one. And it's been on my TBR now for a while. And then again, if we just want to repeat last month's, so I probably won't do this one because if we just want to repeat last month's TBR, I could do Tonight the Streets Are Ours. But I don't really want to repeat. I don't really feel like just repeating last month's TBR. That's boring. So I have a lot of really thick books, so I don't think we're gonna get to that this month. Doesn't feel like the right month for that. Would it be bad for me to just pick the shortest book, which would not be this? I think it needs to be this. I don't know why, but I'm feeling it. And you know what? Why not? So, okay, a book that's been on your TBR for longer than 3 years. We're gonna go with Grown. I don't remember anything about it. That's why it's been on my TBR for far too long. We picked 6 books. First, we started off with a book with 3 words in the title, Project Hail Mary. Very happy about that choice. Very excited to dive into that. And I'm super glad that I got the cover that is still the old cover before they like switch it up. So very happy about that. Then we got a friend rec. Thank you so much to Julia for picking, not allowing, but thank you so much to Julia for picking The Nightingale. I'm nervous but excited to pick this. While she was responding, we had something outside of your comfort zone. We got The 1,000th Floor. This is like futuristic New York kind of vibes. I don't really know a whole lot about it, but excited to figure it out. A book where a character has a similar job to you. This was easy. First time caller. Honestly, I probably picked this prompt for this. So that's just easy. Very excited though to get through this. And then of course, an auto by author. I had so many good options to choose from, always, but this was on the TBR from last month and I do really want to finish up this like trilogy. So we're gonna go with Daydream by Hannah Grace. Very excited for this. So then I can also get excited for the holiday book that she has coming out. And then, you know, we just picked 6. We picked 6. I probably should have only done 5, but we picked 6. And the last prompt was a book that's been on your TBR for longer than 3 years, and that is Grown. This one I have very little knowledge of, but we are excited nonetheless. There you have it. That is the TBR for October. Please let me know what prompts you guys want. Let me know down in the comments, what prompts do we want to see? What should I be picking? Because my little jar, he's getting kind of empty here. And as we start to like weed these out, because I think an auto by author is going to have to go off. I've already used that one now twice. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do, is like use them twice and then take them off. So I think that one's gonna have to go off. I also think this one, 3 words in the title, I think that one's gonna have to go off too. So let me know down in the comments, what prompts do you wanna see? Let's refresh the jar together, shall we? And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, do all the things, click the little bell so you don't miss the next video. We're trying to crank them out every other Thursday. So until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.